YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Original Dog Man. This video here is for my homie, my boy, not my boy, a good family member. Because, see, people from Louisiana, we consider ourselves family. And I'm going to tell you why, whether you're black, white, Spanish, French, Italian, Creole, Cajun, Cuban, Jamaican, we're fucking family. It's a melting pot. When you raised in New Orleans, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, here's what's going on. Some bitch ass motherfucker named Raymond Ford. And I've had it out with this dude in my fucking YouTube and in fucking in the fragrance groups on fucking Facebook. This little bitch ass motherfucker doesn't understand reality. I'm gonna let you guys know something right now. If this dude would have said what he said in real life, in front of my face, and not in the fragrance Facebook groups, I would have knocked this bitch ass out. And that's on New Orleans. And that's on the NO. And that's on the boot. You see, there's certain terms and things that I say that only a motherfucker from New Orleans would recognize and relate. You see, if I say buku, Scott 504 Fragrance Reviews, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I said buku. If I said Dewey, you know what I'm talking about. If I said y'all, most of y'all know that word. Now, y'all do. Back then, y'all didn't. 15, 20 years ago, when we said y'all thought that shit was funny. Now, everybody in the United States saying y'all. When we say lanyard, only a motherfucker from New Orleans would probably know what the fuck I'm talking about. You say lanyard up north, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. You see, there's different terms and so many things that connect the people, not just the food. There's a lot of things that connect people from New Orleans, and we become family. We become one. So when Scott from 504 Fragrance made that fucking review about Raymond Ford, it got me here. Because you don't talk about my fucking city. Don't talk about my city. Don't say shit about my city unless you're from the fucking city and you understand what's going on in the city. You see, I lived most of my life in New Orleans. I grew up in New Orleans, fighting in New Orleans, lost my brother in New Orleans. I got the right to talk shit about New Orleans if I so choose. But honestly, I don't really talk much shit about New Orleans. I may talk a little bit of shit, but it's only because it's just little detailed bullshit. Right? Nothing big, nothing major. But when someone else comes to my city and talk shit, I'm going to say something. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the people on YouTube who are from New Orleans will say something too. Because motherfuckers from New Orleans knows what's up. And it hits you here. Because a lot of people have their heart and their soul in New Orleans. They grew up there. They were raised there. They lost a loved one there. They got their afflictions there. They became stronger there. They became mature there. They became loving there. They either hate or love or whatever. Your emotions, your subjectivity plays into the fucking city of New Orleans, and that's just that. You become a part of New Orleans. And that's with many people. You become part of Louisiana, period, in general. So, this is the comment that the motherfucker made. Raymond Ford, this one's for you. This is also for you, Scott. See, Scott was nice when he made the video. I've seen the video. Sent to me in my Facebook. I'm not in a group. I wish I was in that group, because I'll tell that motherfucker off in a heartbeat. So if y'all know where that fucking post is, take this video, go to that fragrance Facebook group, and post this fucking video to his ass. Let him have it. Because, honestly, if you ain't from New Orleans and you weren't raised here, don't talk shit about New Orleans. Because if you talk shit about... This is just a warning. This is a warning. Because if you talk shit about New Orleans to someone who's from New Orleans, you might possibly lose your life or get knocked the fuck out. One or the other. This dude said that New Orleans is so dirty that it's inundated with the coronavirus. New Orleans is a tourist city. But not only is it a tourist city, it is culturally enriched with the people from New Orleans, the natives. The people who live there. But New Orleans isn't infested with the coronavirus because of the people there. It's infested with the coronavirus because you motherfuckers from all these other cities and states come to New Orleans to celebrate and have fun and party. Then go your ass back home. So y'all contract the virus and then you bring it to us. So what the fuck happens? Okay, let's say that's not the case. Let's say that's not the case. Maybe it's from the ports where all the commodities and goods come from, and your natural gases and resources and shit to keep y'all motherfucking cars running with the rest of the United States. So if New Orleans shuts down, guess what? The rest of the United States fucking shuts down. Because that's the Gulf of fucking Mexico where all the fucking oil is drilling at, where the fucking oil rigs are drilling at. So don't talk shit about it. Have a little respect. Actually have a lot of respect for New Orleans, or else your fucking gas prices be hiked the fuck up your ass. How about that? Let's talk about the food. Ranked number 2 in the United States for the best food. But honestly, I really truly believe it's number 1. Why? Because it's up north. New York was the one that won. New York won. But I've been up north. The food ain't that great. Pasta, pizza, pierogies. This is all the fuck y'all have. Pasta, pizza, pierogies. Y'all have all these little hors d'oeuvres and shit. Y'all micromanaging y'all food and shit. Down south New Orleans, you get a whole plate of gumbo. You get crawfish etouffee. I can name all the shit. All the shit. Muffulettas, po' boys. All of it, man. All of it. Succotash. Well, I don't know if succotash is down south, but it's still, we got succotash. We got all that shit, man. All the great food. Great food. Beignets. Go look up YouTube. Beignets. Everybody up north coming down south to go to beignets. Where did they go? You'll see it when you look it up on YouTube. Cafe Du Monde. Where the fuck y'all go? Well, y'all want some good food. Y'all want some muffulettas? It's culturally enriched. It's a fucking melting pot. The number 1 dish that basically every culture and every religion has put their hands and their foot into that pot is called gumbo. It's called gumbo. Has a little touch of French, a little touch of fucking Creole, Cajun, a little touch of African and Jamaican. It's all in the gumbo. That's what brings everybody together. It's the fact that everyone, that pot of gumbo, can connect many different cultures and religions, and we become family. We become one. So that's why when you talk about people from New Orleans or talk about the city itself, you're doing something that you really don't want to do. You see, New Orleans is an afflicted city. We've gone through some shit. We've gone through Katrina. We've gone out from flood. We've gone from flood to flood to flood, and flood after flood, hurricane after hurricane. You know the shit terms, laissez bon temps relay that only a fucking New Orleanians can understand. When we say hurricane party, only people from New Orleans could understand that. Yeah, hurricane party, literally drinking beer, barbecuing, having fun, and fucking drinking beer in a hurricane. When the wind blowing and the rain blowing in your fucking face. Yes, hurricane party. The rest of the United States, all you motherfuckers from up north would think we're crazy. But that's what brings us together as people who are raised and are either born from New Orleans. I have children who are born in New Orleans, in Louisiana, University Hospital right there on Tulane. Within an hour radius, there is always something to do. Every day of the year, you can find something to do in New Orleans to keep you occupied for every day of the year. There's the Oyster Festival. There's a Strawberry Festival. There's the Fairgrounds. There's the Jazz Fest. There's Lollapalooza. There's the Superdome. There's Southern and Grambling. There's Mardi Gras. There's always something to do, baby, baby. There's the Riverwalk. There's the Ferry. There's the Audubon Zoo. There's City Park. There's the levee system. There's bike trails. There's a streetcar. There's Blue Bayou. There's Jazzland. There's something to do in New Orleans every fucking day, every year, for the year. Every other city that I lived in, I've lived in another city. I lived in Long Beach for a year. San Diego for a year. I lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a year. I lived in Pittsburgh for 2 years. I lived in Gainesville, Florida for a year. I lived in Guam, Japan. I lived in Alaska. Alaska was nice. It was cold. You had to deal with that shit. The closest city that's close, I would say, is a brother city to New Orleans, is Pittsburgh. But still, Pittsburgh doesn't hold a candle to New Orleans and that surrounding area. The Crescent City. So you motherfuckers who talk shit about New Orleans, please understand this one thing. That the people from New Orleans will be on your motherfucking ass. That's just as real as it can get. That's just as real as it can get. Scott is nice. Was nice in that video. I was like, damn, Scott, why you ain't let him have it? What makes people from New Orleans and why we have this type of mentality is because of the fucking afflictions that we went through. That made us stronger, that made us who we are, that made us better. Better people, better city. Was because and is because of our afflictions. Going through Katrina, going through the drug epidemic, going through all the bullshit, the Africans, the blacks who were enslaved, and the slave masters threw them guts and innards. And they took that shit and made a cuisine out of it. And they made it a delicacy. Now the people in New Orleans today, they come together and they fucking love it. Chitlins. Y'all think it stinks. I think it stinks. But you know what? I love the dish. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all can't understand it. Because y'all haven't been through it. Y'all haven't seen what we see as New Orleanians. And you don't know the history nor the culture and what the people have been through. We're all connected. We're family. Red beans and rice. For most people up north, you wouldn't fucking like red beans and rice. But down south, the people have made it into something fucking delicious with cornbread. So before you talk shit about the city, understand it before you talk shit about it. You know, you say, we're infested with coronavirus. Well, motherfucker, y'all the ones that brought it here. Y'all fucking tourists who wants to come to our city just to experience it. But y'all wouldn't live in it. That's the truth. I lived in that motherfucker for almost 30 years. Yeah, over 30 years of my life. Or close to it. Had children there. You know, the people from New Orleans, my ancestors, my family members who lived there, have experienced the afflictions of slavery, Civil War, all the bad shit that's ever happened, the hurricanes after hurricanes, the segregation, all right? They've had that affliction. But even to this day, people from New Orleans are still being afflicted with bullshit. You know, all y'all motherfuckers from up north, y'all give us all your fucking dirty water coming down the Mississippi. That shit's being filtered out through New Orleans and the Gulf. But we still make good of it. We still fish these muddy waters. We make something good of it. We name a song after it. We build restaurants and buildings called Muddy Waters. The Muddy Water Bar. Yeah, there was a Muddy Water Bar. Movies and shit. Of streetcars. More than half y'all motherfuckers film y'all fucking movies in and around the city of New Orleans and Louisiana. Yeah, I could name a shit ton of fucking movies created in New Orleans. Yes. Streetcar Named Desire is just one. Trust me, Jean-Claude Van Damme made a couple of his fucking movies. X-Men. Hugh, what's the name? That dude, Hugh something. Wolverine. Hugh Jackman made a movie down there. And many fucking more movies. Still Magnolia, New Orleans, around Louisiana. And many TV sitcoms made there. That's one thing y'all motherfuckers don't respect. Y'all use our setting for your fucking movies. Why? Because it's a beautiful fucking city. It actually is. It may have its low lying parts and its ghetto trashy parts, just like any fucking city. A lot of cities have their fucking bullshit to them. But we have more to offer than most cities do. New Orleans gets shut down, the rest of the United States gets shut down, man. Period. You won't be able to operate. We take all the bad shit, we take all the affliction, and we make it something good, and yet you motherfuckers still want to come over to us. Y'all them spoiled motherfuckers. Alright? Y'all them spoiled motherfuckers. This is exactly how this analogy works. You that spoiled ass motherfucker. That kid with that brand new bike. As soon as you get a puncture in that fucking tire, you throw the bike away. The poor kid from down the street comes and gets the bike out the trash, fixes up the bike, pimps the bike out. Now your bitch ass want the bike back. This is exactly how that shit works. New Orleans is that poor kid down the street that turned something bad into something good, and now your bitch ass wants to come back. Raymond Ford. Before you talk shit about New Orleans, understand the fucking history. Because honestly, this isn't a threat. This is a warning. You might run up on somebody who is from New Orleans, and you start talking shit about New Orleans, and you get your bitch ass knocked the fuck out. There's much more I can say. But you want to know what? I'm one of the nice guys. I'm one of the nice guys. And if you talk shit in front of me, I might just knock you the fuck out. And I'm one of the nice guys. Want to know why I say that? Because a motherfucker, a real OG motherfucker from New York will shoot you. If I was back like I was a teen, I would shoot you. I've turned a lot. I'm not the same motherfucker that I used to be. I'm a nice guy. You know, back in the day when people used to step on people's shoes, brand new Kick'ems, brand new Adidas, brand new Nikes, and they scuffed them up. Someone kicked them or scuffed them up. They shot them. They shot them. Why? Because people have that type of mentality where they have been afflicted all their lives, and when they get something new, they appreciate it and they love it so much that they're willing to kill over it. People are willing to die because they have never had anything in their life, and when they did get something, they appreciated and they loved it so much. This is the mentality of people from New Orleans. We not that spoiled little motherfucker from down the street. We that poor little kid from down the street that's never had anything. Understand this. And when we got something, we made it great. Now you trying to come over and scuff our tennis shoes up? Be warned, man. Be warned. This is exactly how this goes. It's your boy Original Dog Man. There's much more I can expound on and tell this dude off and keep going for a whole fucking hour on this shit if I really choose to. But I'm not. Because honestly, I think I've gotten my point across to Raymond Ford. Don't shit talk Louisiana. Don't shit talk New Orleans. Don't shit talk the people. Because you will get fucked up.